I watched the governor's presentation of his budget to the House of Assembly. And at the end of that presentation, I came to a conclusion that this governor is not interested in the welfare of Edo State people. It is very clear from that presentation that all that the APC government of Oshiomhole is interested in Edo State is how to improve his personal lot and that of his immediate aides. How can you explain the governor appropriating, if you permit me to say, misappropriating the sum of 1.4 billion to his office for tea and recharge cards? Outside that, he has allocated in this budget the sum of 1.7 billion for feeding and drinks in government house. As allocated in previous budget, this money is allocated to his government house 1.7 billion is nothing but to entertain himself and to make himself happy at the expense of the welfare of our people. Look at previous vouchers. As you can see here, you will find out that this money essentially is for drinks and food in government house. How can you spend 1.7 billion for yourself just to eat and to buy things? I show you previous vouchers to illustrate the misappropriation of this money. Here you have being amount approved for the purchase of assorted drinks to enable the governor of Edo State, host important dignitaries and various guests. 9,657,500 Naira. The next one, being amount released for the upkeep of Governor's Lodge, 16,250,000. Just on and on like that. These vouchers are there for all of you to see. Now, in this year's budget, for the same purpose, he has allocated 1.7 billion for feeding, drinks, and of course, tickets. You know the man likes travel, and he does it in style. Whenever he's traveling, he will not use the regular airline. He will engage the services of chartered flights. And here are similar vouchers, which he used in the previous year for similar trips. All these are the things he's going to do with 1.7 billion. You will see here payment to Aviation Resources Services Limited, 4,080,000 just for a trip from Benin to Abuja. Another one, Aviation Resources or Aviation Resource Service Limited, 1,950,000. Aviation Resource Service Limited, 1,950,000. Abuja, Lagos, Benin, 3,060,000. You all know what a flight ticket, first class ticket, is from Benin to Abuja or to Lagos. But this man will never use a commercial airline. All of a sudden, from a labor leader, he now uses chartered private jets. And these are the things he has budgeted for. 1.7 billion to himself and members of his family for feeding, drinks, and tickets on journeys outside Benin City. Outside that, he allocated the sum of 2.550 billion for fueling of governor's convoy. and DTA for governors' trips within Nigeria. Private visits to Oshiomhole, we have vouchers here. That is what he has allocated 2,515,000,000 for fueling of cars and for internal trips within Nigeria. For that amount, he allocated it to the Directorate of Central Administration, Governor's Office. From these vouchers, you will see clearly what he has used similar money in the past year. For example, on this voucher, you have payment for duty tour allowance for the governor of Edo State and for some of his aides on official assignment to Edo North. You have 5,981,000,000 naira, 81,000 naira. If you go through all these vouchers, which for some strange reasons is calling them TTA allowance to himself and his aides on visits to Edo North, are nothing but private visits by the governor from Benin to Oshiomhole to see his mother. That is what he claims this money for. So for this year's budget, he has allocated the sum of 2,550,000,000 for fueling of governor's convoy, duty tour allowance for his movement within Nigeria. Essentially, the bulk of these vouchers are trips by the governor from Benin City to Oshiomhole to visit his mother. And that is what he's collecting this money for. And shamelessly, they will write payment for duty allowance for the governor of Edo State and some of his aides. What a shame. Well, we are not done with the budget. On security, he has allocated 5 billion. That is security vote, which is under his control. Of course, you are aware that in the past years of his administration, all the 7 years, he has always allocated this 5 billion for security, as security vote to his office. And going through the voucher, each time he wants to collect money from the security vote, he will ask one Chief Emeka to sign for 100 million to meet urgent security challenges. This man will sign vouchers today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, 5-6 days consecutively. He will be signing 100 million to meet urgent security challenges. And in the 2016 budget, he has budgeted another sum of 5 billion for this same urgent security challenges. If you add up this money that he has allocated to himself, it comes to 10,650,000,000 naira just to the governor and his office. 10,650,000,000 naira. This, to my mind, represents roughly about 10% of the total budget presented by Oshiomhole. The same governor appropriated the sum of 14 billion to education. The governor who appropriated 10,650,000,000 to himself appropriated the paltry sum of 14 billion for education. In a state where we don't have enough teachers in the schools, in a state where there are no libraries in most of our schools, in a state where there are no laboratories for science students, in a state where you don't have desks and chairs, as you can see from this picture. We will see students sitting on the floor in most of our schools in Edo State. That is the same state where the governor has appropriated 14 billion to the Ministry of Education, whereas he has appropriated 10 billion 615 million to himself. For capital expenditure, you have the sum of 58.9 billion. Now, if you look at a breakdown of the capital expenditure, you will see that for roads, he allocated 9 billion 24 million. For agriculture, 300 million. Commerce and industry, 50 million. Rural electrification, 300 million. ICT, 400 million. Education, 14 billion. If you add up the amount allocated for the various sectors, the total comes to 48 billion 96 million. But what he provided for capital expenditure on the whole is 58.9 billion. So there is a shortfall of 9 billion 940 million. So the question is, what is the governor going to do with this money he has not allocated to any sector? In this year's budget, for senior citizens, he has allocated the sum of 10 million to assist people who are 70 years and above to obtain medical treatment across the state. I'm not talking of Benin City, across the 18 local governments. 10 million for senior citizens. Here in this voucher, he approves the sum of 4 million for one of its 8. The next one, another 4 million for medical treatment for another of his close associates. Fela, in his wisdom, was a record, saying water no get enemy. But it appears that in Edo State, the enemy of water is at Oshiomhole. He has allocated 100 million only for the provision of water across the 18 local governments in Edo State. You are aware that there is no home anywhere in this state where you can access public water through the water board. Surprisingly, with disappointment, going through the budget, I discovered that Oshiomhole, the same man who refused to make provision for adequate water supply for the state, allocated 100 million for the maintenance of water fountain. For maintenance of water fountain at the ring road, water no one can drink. I'm interested in the delivery of democratic dividends to the people of Edo State. And no office should be unjustly punished as a result of internal party differences. For allocating the sum of 35 million, which is totally inadequate for the administration of the Deputy Governor's office, I stand there to condemn it. And I want to tell Edo people that we are in for hard times, where internal political differences will now be having an overbearing influence in the presentation of the budget.